What's going on, guys? It's Silly12 here, coming at you with another video. And we're going to continue with this Hog series that I just started, where I am talking about the different level. I'm going to talk about different Hog strategies, and I'm breaking them down to three categories. I talked about the basics of Hog in the first video. In the second video, I'm going to be talking about sort of the intermediate level of Hog, and then in the final video, which is going to be the one I'm going to be recording after this, I'm going to be talking about advanced techniques with Hog. So in the basic, just a little recap, I talked about Hog synergies, what the Hog is, and sort of how it's used to punish. It's the highest damage. It's the highest damage defense building targeting troop in the game at tournament standard that is not 8 elixir. So, because I do believe the golem does a little bit more. I can double check that. It does 235. Hog does more. Okay, so yeah, it's a quick troop. I talked about what it synergizes with. I talked about this deck, very basic deck, and now I'm going to be talking about intermediate level play. This is more basic level, is more going to help you through the lower arenas. Say arenas, I believe you unlock the Hog at 4. I wouldn't recommend using it till you got it up to level a little bit though. So let's say you start using arena 5. I wouldn't recommend. The basic strategies will help get you through arena 5. I forget the arenas. They keep messing with the trophy ranges. I'm confident that with the basic strategies, you should be able to get to Royal Arena, if not Frozen Peak, fairly easily. That's assuming your card levels sort of coincide with what you are facing. And then now we are going to talk about intermediate Hog level play. This intermediate Hog level play, I truly believe, will help you get to Hog Mountain and probably around the 3,500 range. And then we're going to get into more advanced tactics after that, because then you start dealing with people who really know how to counter your Hog. So, intermediate level play, you still have the basic decks. You have the Hog cycle deck. You have, which is what this is, you have like a Hog hybrid deck, in which it's sort of like a Hog control. I believe I showed it in previous videos. I can make it real quick, but it has like a bowler, a baby drag, tornado. It's really heavy on the defense, and it's sort of like a Hog control, in which you play defense first, use your elixir advantage to counter push and do damage. But that is sort of a high level deck to be using. I still want to keep it simple, but also at the same time, I still want to keep it simple because I want to use this deck template just as an example. And we're going to talk about intermediate level play. So you can see some intermediate level Hog play in some of these replays. So I've been tilting a lot. I sort of talked about that in a couple videos back. But we're going to talk about intermediate level play and what I'm thinking about. So here I am not really making use of any sort of advanced tactics. At least nothing too advanced, but we're going to talk about outcycling their counters, because I do believe that to be an intermediate style tactic. So what I mean by outcycling their counters is when you put down your Hog. Sorry, I dropped my phone. When you put down your Hog, they usually will use, like, in this instance, he's using a cannon to defend against it. So, what I have to do, every single time he drops the cannon, it's going to counter my Hog. I won't be able to get to his tower. So what I have to do is that I have to get a little, you'll see what I do, but I have to outcycle it. And what I mean by that is that I have to put down my cards faster than he can put down his cards, because you have to play 4 cards in order to get back to the card in your cycle. And it's something to keep track of. It's pretty easy. It's a lot easier than counting the elixir. All you have to do is just count every single troop that they drop after the counter. So right now I'm like, okay, that's 1, that's 2. So he needs to drop 2 more cards in order to for it to go back into, in order for it to return back into the cycle. So he plays 2 cards right now. I'm like, okay, so that's 3. And then he's right when he drops the 4th, he's gonna have Hog back in the cycle. That's why, Cannon back in the cycle. That's why I didn't drop Hog yet. And right here, I sort of placed Hog because I didn't have much else to play. But you'll start to see how fast I can start cycling with this deck in order to get past its counters. And what I take advantage of is I'm constantly spending elixir. That's something you want to do, especially if you're playing a Hog cycle. They're constantly playing elixir. See, and then you can get them to slip up like that. And they're low on elixir, but they still want to place their cannon because they don't want the Hog to do too much damage to them. So they'll do something like he just did, where the Hog didn't actually go towards the cannon. It was a sort of a defensive placement. And you can get a sort of a taste on another Hog deck here. It's a Hog NATO deck. It's very solid on defense. It plays like a cycle deck still, so you can't play it like a control deck. I take that back. You can play it like a control deck. I just wouldn't recommend it, because control decks are usually a lot stronger on defense. Like, they'll have much more defensive oriented troops, such as Bowler or Executioner, just other troops like that. So you notice I'm also doing a what's called a pig push. And a pig push is where I'll show you another replay and point it out to you. But a pig push is something that will help you immensely in your gameplay, and I will point out to you what it is. I'll pause right where I'm about to do it. So I think I win this. I forget. Okay, so yeah, I tornado to activate my king. Ugh. Sorry, my throat's getting a little raspy. I've been talking a lot. I think this is my... Oh no. This is the 6th video. So I've been talking non-stop for about an hour and a half. You won't be seeing that footage though. Oh. Okay, so right there I did a pig push. I'll try and point it out when I do it again. I have to keep track. I wasn't really paying attention. That's my bad. But I'm getting some good damage on that other tower right there. I do believe that the next video, which is going to be the advanced tactics, is probably going to be the longest, because that's when I'm going to talk about every single tactic I use, like when I'm in the higher arenas, to help win my matches. And that's going to be I feel like that video could be rather long, because there's a lot more that I want to discuss that is not necessarily obvious to people. So a sec. I'll try and pause right when I see myself do it. Okay, so I'm not gonna do it right here. I'm just gonna... Where am I? We'll see. No, I'm gonna zap right there. I'm not gonna put my Hog straight into troops like that. Okay, so I believe I'm gonna drop it after I defend this push right here. So I'm going to fireball the Musketeer. I think I'm still holding out on it. Okay, here we go. So, okay, I have to defend first, though. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I want to show you this. I believe it's coming up. I'm going to zap. Okay, so right there. Notice where I dropped my hog. It's not straight on the bridge, which is where a lot of people place the hog. It's the farthest to the right, and if you're on the other side, it would obviously be farthest to the left. But what that does is that helps you bypass some defenses, and it makes the hog take a different route. So if the defense was placed in a different spot, he didn't really have good furnace placement, but you'll sort of see in some of my videos. I'll try and point it out to you now that I have like sort of a little series on it when it happens, but it helps you bypass some defense placements, which is very helpful because that can mean your hog getting to the tower or your hog not getting to the tower. And it's I do it every single time now. It's just force of habit now at this point. It's a good habit to start getting into if you're a hog player. It's a very solid thing to do. I would not recommend. There are some cases in which I wouldn't place my hog like that and place it sort of in the middle, and that's if there's a lot of sort of high damage troops sort of clustered off to the side. That's the only time in which I would really do it. But I'll talk about that in my advanced video. So that's the end of that replay. So that's pig pushing for you, and also as you saw in the other replay, you saw me having to outcycle his defense, being the cannon, in order to come out with the victory, and that's what cycle decks do. You have to put down cards faster than they're putting down their cards, and a good way to know if their defense is back in cycle is that after they put down their defense, count every card that they put after that, and once you get to 4, you know it's back in their hand. So this is going to be the end of this video. I do believe that with these tactics, it will help you get up to around the 3,500 range, and beyond that, that's when you have to start utilizing a lot more, and I'll talk about that in the next video. It may seem like a little bit, but it'll make a huge difference. So this is gonna be the end of the video. This is Vasily12 signing off, and I hope you guys have a great day.